Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. Yeah, sorry for the lack of content over the last few weeks. It's yeah, with the summer holidays, kids being off, it's been quite difficult to actually sit down and actually put something together. But yeah, I should have some more videos from now going up to the Christmas period, so look out for those. So in this week's video, I need to be looking at a repair that I need to do to the awning rail on the right hand side. Now, about a year ago on the left hand side, I went through and actually did all the awning rail, all the actual seals on the different compartments outside, the lockers, just to refresh that because it looked like they were starting or were nearly failing on that aspect. Now, I haven't got the problem on the right hand side as much, but from my last trip, what I did notice was I've got a gap about 2 or 3 inches that I need to address. Now, instead of just patching that, I'm going to take the option to actually remove all the existing and then reapply it, just so I know, peace of mind, it's sort of a fresh seal on there and it's going to last a number of years going forwards. So in this video I'm just going to sort of show you that process that we use to do that. Now, as we're sort of moving towards the end of the season, this is sort of prime time to be checking the Caravan. I've sort of mentioned this in previous videos, that you need to be going around and actually checking all the seals, whether they're on the roof or on the sides. Again, it's critical that you do this prior to the winter season, because what will happen is those where you've got gaps and those cavities, they will fill with water. When you get to the colder months, they'll freeze, and then what you'll probably find is they'll split or make it worse. And that's where you sort of, yeah, you leave the Caravan in storage or you take your eye off it for a number of weeks, and that's all it takes. You'll get that water ingress into the van and it will start to ruin it. And actually you might not even notice it actually happening, which is sort of a common thing. It'll actually sort of happen behind the actual walls. It'll seep down, and it's sort of, before you know it, it's too late. It's caused a load of damage, and it's going to cost, yeah, a good chunk of money to actually repair that. So yeah, prime time to just go around and just check what's going on, because yeah, if it gets icy, it's going to expand, it's going to make it worse, and that's going to be your problem. And then what you don't want to be doing is these repairs in the rain, in the cold weather, because the silicone isn't going to go off as quickly. So you probably over the next few weeks is going to be your perfect opportunity just to check this out. So what I'll do now is I'll show you the tools that we're going to use to get this job done. Now, the things we're going to need, obviously some of this is just sort of obvious stuff. We've got a scraper, and again that's just got a nice edge to it, so it'll allow you to get into getting and removing that excess. But it's made of plastic, not metal, because you don't want to damage the paint on the Caravan. Got a knife, because again you've probably got a few bits you're going to need to trim, and obviously open your silicone. Frog tape, again, obviously masking tape. A good tape is definitely worth having if you're not confident with actually applying silicone. If you're a bit worried if you're going to apply too much, obviously you can actually mask it up instead. Now, I definitely recommend a better quality masking tape. Otherwise what will happen is you'll probably find that it will stick too much, leave some of the glue behind, and it'll be a nightmare getting it off. So yeah, spend the extra and get some decent tape. Any excess, obviously you've got a bit of kitchen roll, and obviously you've got a silicone gun to apply the silicone. Now, silicone we're going to use is Sikaflex 522. Again, that's going to be all you need in terms of this job, and white spirit just to, before you apply the silicone, obviously you can just tidy up that rail, just so it gives it a nice clean surface for this to bond to. So when you've finished applying the silicone, just make sure it has actually gone into the actual area that you need. If you've left any gaps before you start actually sort of tidying it up, what you'll do is actually get some of the product behind the sealant, and it won't actually seal properly. So what I've seen before, people going a bit mad with soapy water, and all that does is sort of then cause a micro sort of barrier between the skin of the Caravan and the sealant, and actually you haven't actually sealed it at all. So make sure that you are applying this correctly before you do the tidy up. And again, you can use soapy water, or I've used white spirit afterwards. So again, it's entirely up to you how you go about that on that aspect, but I'll show you how we're going to do ours. Rightio, so in terms of the repair, this is where I've got my gap, and this is the sort of key thing that you need to be looking for. Now, it's a bit difficult one-handed, but yeah, it won't take you long once you get this started. If you get any black marks, don't worry about that, because again the white spirit will take all that off and away, so don't try and clean that as you go. Just use the tool to go along, and then that should get you to your first starting point. Rightio, So that's got the majority off for where I need it to be. What I've done is just use the tool and then a bit of, like I say, a bit of rag, a bit of white spirit, just to really clean the surface. And all we'll do is repeat that now, going all the way along the top, give it a clean, prep it. Now in terms of masking tape, this is what I meant, so if you're not sure about how good you are actually applying silicone, you can run it along the outside, and then you run your silicone down here, and you can run your finger down, and then when you finish you can take this tape off and it should give you a nice line going all the way down. Now I wouldn't say you need to do that at the top because no one's going to see that, you just need to make sure that that's got a good seal. And at the front obviously it curves around, so you can give it a try with tape, but yeah, you just need to have a little play if you are if you're not confident about applying silicone. But like I say, I'll demonstrate on this corner now. So once you take the tape off, all going well, it should look like that. And it is important once you've taken the tape off to run your finger back down it again. Make sure your finger's lubricated, otherwise the tape will make like a bit of a ridge where the tape ends. So it is very important that again the second pass is done once the tape's taken off. Rightio, so that is all sealed up nicely. It should stop any water ingress. Rightio, so that's the end of the video. Hopefully, yeah, it's given you all the information that you need to actually get on and tackle this yourself. Like I say, it should give you the confidence of all the tools that you need and how to apply the silicone. Any questions, obviously as always, just drop them below. And yeah, if you found the content useful, obviously give it a like, a share, and consider subscribing to the channel. That would be great. And I will see you all on the next one. Cheers everyone.